Disclaimer: this video is not professionally made. I am not a pet expert. I am strictly using what my knowledge of pets is in this video. Hey guys, Psychic Pictures here, and welcome to Puppy Days. So, I don't have the puppy right now, but there's several things that you need to do before you go and actually get yourself a puppy. So, of course, you need food, water, and different things like that for the puppy. And you need snacks for training the puppy. And I'm going to go over that in another video. What I want to focus on this video is the cage. The cage that the puppy can sleep in. So, what you want for the cage is you want a cage that will be able to hold your puppy in its adult form. So, you want the cage to be able to have the actual size of the dog that they will eventually be. You want okay. What I'm trying to say is, you want the cage to be bigger than the maximum size of the dog that you have or are getting. So, if you want a golden retriever or a big dog like that, you want a cage that will be bigger than this one that I have right here. Because you want them to be able to fit in the cage. Not only that, but you want them to be able to turn around in the cage as well. You want them to be comfortable in the cage. So, I have here a cage that'll fit a standard poodle, an Australian Shepherd, things like that. So, let's talk about the actual cage. So, I have a wire cage here. And this is actually a very good cage because it's able to breathe. The plastic cages, in my opinion, aren't as good because, one, the puppy can actually chew it up and it'll break apart easily, which they can do that with the wire cage, but you can pretty much see this is not tasty. A lot of the toys that you can give your dog are plastic. They're not metal. So they're most likely not going to chew up the metal. I think at least. But the metal cage is better than the plastic cage because it can actually breathe. The plastic cage can get a little bit too hot if you have the dog in there for a while. But as I said earlier, you want them to be able to stay in there, you want them to turn around, things like that. Now, I have towels up here as well. Just regular old towels will work. And if you have towels that you want to throw out because they're old, and you're going to get a new puppy or something like that, a puppy or a cat or animal like that, you want to keep those old towels because these towels, I'm going to zoom in here. Well, go up to you guys. But these towels are just towels that you can get from like Walmart, Target, and them. And they are towels that you can just throw in the cage. If it gets messed up, you can go and you can go clean it up, throw it in the wash, and it'll be fine. But if it gets too messed up, like all of it is covered, you can just throw it away. So, towels are actually very good for cages, because if you get a dog bed and it ends up getting ruined in the early stages of doghood, then you're going to have to either buy another bed or do something else. I recommend towels. They're very cheap, and they can go and and if you need more, they're very cheap to get, and you can just throw them out if it gets too messed up. Now, the actual cage itself. In training your dog, you don't want to use this for punishment. And this is my recommendation. I'm going to say that a lot throughout these videos about my recommendations. If I sound like I go and say, oh, you have to do this, it's my opinion of having to do that. I will be going and saying that probably a lot, but this is all recommendation. So, the cage. Use it only for sleep. This is very good for the dog because eventually the dog will know just to go in the cage when he wants to sleep. If you see that your dog is out and about just resting somewhere, go ahead, gently pick the dog up, and gently put them back in the cage. So, there's that. What else? You want the dog to have a specific time to go to bed every night. So, in my case, I would probably play with the dog for a while before bedtime. So, like, get its energy out at, like, 9 o'clock p.m. and then have it go to bed at 10 o'clock p.m. That's my schedule that I'm going to be sticking to for the most part. But with this cage, I recommend that you only use it for sleep. I do not recommend them having it for punishment, because then the dog will probably not like going into the cage. If the dog likes going into the cage, then you can easily just go and say, okay, Kennel, and they'll easily go in the cage. But if you use it for punishment, and you say Kennel, they're like, oh my gosh, what did I do? So, I actually have my dad's dog and my dad's dog and another one of my dogs down here. With my standard poodle that I have right now, he's scared to go in the kennel because we used it as oh, this is your punishment kennel. That was not the right way to go about it. But this little guy, come here, Obi. Obi, come here. Come on. Come here. Come here, bud. Good boy. This little guy right here, he is a toy poodle. Oh, sorry. He's a toy poodle, and he's actually okay with going in the cage. Just watch. Since it's on camera, he's not going to want to go into the cage. He's not going to want to go into the kennel. Kennel. Good boy. See? He's easy to go in the kennel. He has enough room to move around. And as you can see, for the guy, he's a bit curious on what's going on in the kennel. Because I don't think he's actually seen one. But since it's there, he's okay with it. Good boy. Good boy, Obi. Good puppy. Good job. Good job. You did a good boy. Good example. Good example, puppy. And also, if they are in the cage and they haven't done anything, and you left them in there for a while, go ahead and praise them. Because that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to hold their bladder when they're in here, and They're supposed to hold their bladder while they're in here, because the puppy's most likely not going to want to sleep where he goes to the restroom. But the cage is very important for having them sleep, having them in there when they sleep, things like that. The cage is just for the beginning times of puppyhood. So if they are potty training, keep them in the cage when it's nighttime and when it's time to sleep. I recommend only when they're sleeping, put them in the kennel. Always keep the cage open. Always keep the cage open when they're not in there, just in case they want to go in there. Because you never know. Sometimes they can go in there and just lay down and want to sleep. I don't know. Dogs have different personalities, so it isn't fully... What I'm trying to say is, dogs have different personalities. You don't know what they'll do with the cage. Most likely the puppy that I'm gonna be getting, most likely that puppy will not like being in a cage. But I'm not sure if he'll like being in a cage or not. So I'm keeping an open mind. I'm keeping it so if he wants to go in the cage, okay, good on him. If he doesn't want to go in the cage, then he's going to have to live with it. And if the puppy's, like, howling in the cage and things like that, just try to ignore it. Because that's going to be them for the first few days when you're actually having them in the cage. So, as of right now, this is all I want to talk about, just the cage. And the towels here, as I said, you can put those on the bottom. And if you have a dog bed that you want to stick in there, I recommend that you go and put a towel on top of that so it doesn't ruin the bed. So, you guys might be wondering, hey, I have a dog here, and I have a dog over there. Why do you want another dog? Well, this dog that I'm getting is actually for personal reasons. So, I'm actually getting the puppy, because I want to start training a puppy from scratch. And get them to a point where I can take them out in public and they won't do anything. Well, what I'm trying to say is not coming across. What I'm trying to say is that I want a puppy based on personal reasons, and a lot is happening during this time that the puppy videos will be uploaded. So, there's going to be a lot of going on. I don't know if there's going to be times when I don't want to record, but I'm going to have to record anyway with these videos. But I just wanted to get a puppy for personal reasons because my life is getting tough right now. And I need a distraction. I need a distraction for what's going to be coming just around the corner. So, all I wanted to talk about with this video was the cage. Next time I'm probably going to be talking about, like, toys and things like that. I'm not exactly sure what I'll be covering in the next video, but you can guarantee that there's going to be a lot of puppy videos on the way. This has been Psychic Pictures, and I'll see you guys next time.